It's summertime and you know what that means. It means I can finally open my window whilst watching anime! I should probably make a Brexit joke too, but that's not funny anymore. But it's time for another season of some epic anime that you will only watch so that you can get upset when Digibro calls your favorite show of the season a pile of dog shit. And that Cowboy Bebop is the best show of the season. JK Digibro, I love you. If I had to name this season, I would probably name it the season where Attack on Titan 2 was announced, because that's the only fucking thing anyone will be talking about this season. First and foremost, we have Danganronpa 3, which fans of the series are eagerly anticipating, as Danganronpa 3 is a fully original series based on nothing that people will still insist is not as good as the game that doesn't exist. Because we all know that Danganronpa fans are programmed to say, "It's not as good as the games!" Needless to say, I will not be indulging in this absolute monstrosity, as the first two seasons were fucking awful. The first two seasons were about as enjoyable as trying to watch High School DxD with your parents while trying to convince them to stay focused on the plot alone. Mob Psycho 100 is most likely going to be the most overhyped show of the season based on One Punch Man alone. But in actual fact, the show looks absolutely amazing and I cannot wait to start watching it. But what I can wait for is everyone to compare every single fucking frame in Mob Psycho 100 to that of One Punch Man. Either way, I'm hoping that it shuts those ever so annoying One Punch Man fanboys up for at least one whole season.
We get it! You're excited for season 2, okay? So is everybody!
Berserk looks interesting, I want to say. It's most likely going to be a repeat of what happened with Ping Pong the animation, where everyone is like, you have to watch this show, it's amazing, followed by, but the visuals look like some kind of fucked up hentai VR that went wrong on sexual social experiment. I really can't decide how I feel about the visual style. In some of the scenes, the visuals are absolutely beautiful. Yet in a lot of the scenes, especially when the characters are moving or turning around, the visuals look as awkward and as painful as two Legos trying to have sex in the shower for the first time. All in all though, if you are a fan of the original Berserk anime, this will be a show you will definitely want to watch. If the opening combined with the music of the show doesn't set the atmosphere for you alone, then I do not know what will. The only thing that really bugs me about Berserk is the fact that they're censoring some of the gore, which is a really big shame because my body is programmed to get a hard-on whenever I watch any Japanese content that involves censorship, bodily fluids, and screaming. 91 Days is probably the anime that is raising the most eyebrows this season. I know I will be watching this show because I want more Baccano, but we aren't getting more Baccano, so I will just watch it hoping that it's Baccano and crying that we have no more Baccano. But it's nice to see an anime that isn't based in a school or on a teenage boy coming of age, so I will be watching this purely because of that. And you know, there's mafias and vampires, so that's pretty cool, and with the title as ambiguous as 91 Days, who wouldn't want to watch it? I think the main reason why a lot of people are excited for 91 Days is that it sounds so fucking cool and the premise is actually very interesting. This show could honestly go either way and could be amazing or absolute waste of time. Whether it is amazing or bad though is not the point because I want more fucking Baccano! Tales of Zestiria is in the same boat as the Nintendo Wii U. How so, I hear you asking? Well, you know if you don't own a Wii U like myself and you're like, hey, that game's pretty cool, but I don't want to use the fucking awful gamepad that comes with the Nintendo Wii and is overpriced as hell. Well, that is exactly what Tales of Zestiria is. I imagine in general the show will be very mediocre, but in terms of visuals it will be absolutely stellar. That is why I will be watching it with the subtitles and audio off, while I enjoy the visuals and hope that maybe Ufotable will work on something worth working on next time. Also, who doesn't fucking love a game adaptation? They should have let Hollywood make this game adaptation, they are really good at making those. For example, Prince of Persia is one of my favorite films of all time. I made a funny... Shokugeki no Soma or Food Wars Season 2 is a show I am genuinely excited for as the first season was fucking amazing. Nothing gets me harder than food porn and soft porn in the same show. This along with our overconfident protagonist destroying other school members in food battles whilst explaining it with completely unnecessary chemistry that no one cares for, nor asks for, nor understands. But my god does that food look fucking amazing. Also, I'm still sad to see that Gordon Ramsay is still yet to appear as one of the judges. Here's hoping. It's never too late. Real Life is an interesting show for the reasons you wouldn't expect. It's actually the first anime to adopt the Netflix way of uploading content. And yes, although the show looks very good and very entertaining and the premise looks very interesting, that is again not the reason why I care for this show. It's nice to see the anime industry take its fingers out of its own ass and actually look what people are doing overseas. And I really do hope that more anime adopt this method of uploading, as I really hate watching an anime weekly only to have a really bad episode that puts me off the whole season and I stop watching, where normally on Netflix if there was a bad episode I would just sit there and let autoplay do the rest. What do you guys think about uploading a whole season in one go? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Orange is the New Black Season 4 is a very promising show based on the opening theme alone, which by the way hasn't changed in 4 seasons, as it's basically pure genius that every anime fan ever has enjoyed. The detail on the animation is on the level of Corey in Le House, as they say in France. Although the first 3 seasons were filler, I'm excited to see this new season by Studio Netflix. It takes a gritty look on what the hit show Prison School could have been. Sadly, it isn't available on Kiss Anime yet, and here's hoping Crunchyroll will snag the rights to it so that my premium membership will be good for something. The rest of the shows this season I'm going to base solely on the cover art and the small descriptions provided by Annie Chart, as there is a very good chance I will probably end up watching Netflix this whole season and leaving it on autoplay to watch Adam Sandler's Netflix original films, as getting out of my bed and changing the show is far too much effort. So without further ado, let's separate all of these anime into the category of, oh god, it's fucking awful, or meh, maybe I'll watch it. Hold on, I know what you're thinking. No, that isn't a Lost Pause thumbnail. It's actually on the Annie Chart website. It's actually the cover art for the anime. I know, I was confused as well. I thought, hey, Lost Pause, what are your thumbnails doing here? But never mind. This show I can guarantee you I will not watch. I don't even want to give this show the honor of pronouncing its name wrong. It's clearly going to be focused on the plot with extra plot and plot twist with a bit of extra plot sprinkled in between. This is definitely that show you want to watch with your parents, or maybe your cousin's parents, or maybe that one friend you want to impress with their parents maybe, or the anime school club, or just generally anywhere you want to lose all the self-respect that you have left for yourself. Binan Ko Chiku Boipu Love is definitely the manliest show this season. As I quote the description of the show, their definition of earth defense is bumming around all day at the local bathhouse. Now if we look up the definition of bumming in the Urban Dictionary, it's an act that describes anal sex. Sure, there are some other meanings, but for the sake of clarity, I'm gonna assume it's the dirtiest meaning of the word. So what we got here is a bunch of guys having anal sex in the bathhouse. So yes, I will definitely be watching the show. Cheer Danshi is another show that I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Puzzle and Dragons X. The X is very important there, I'm sure it is to the plot, because you know what the world needs? More animes adapted from fucking Nintendo 3DS games. Qualadia Code is another anime that sounds like 50,000 other animes I have seen and just looks like a very fucking generic plot. And the main enemy of the show is called Unknown, so that can just show you how much effort has gone into this show. They got through the whole process and they were like, fuck man, we haven't named the enemies. They're like, what should we call the enemies? Unknown. Look how little effort we've put into our show, it's terrifying. New Game. Oh wait, New Game is a show I will probably end up watching just because I'll have nothing else to watch and I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll stick it on. It'll probably be enjoyable. It's most likely going to be one of those shows that you can just switch your brain off and enjoy. Orange is the show of the season that everyone will tell you to watch based on the manga alone. I'm just gonna go through a lot of them and just cross them out, the ones that I'm completely not interested in, or the ones that I haven't watched the first season of, so yeah, okay, let's do that. And honestly, the rest of the shows this season I don't really have an interest for, so if I didn't talk about the show you're excited for, I'm sorry. So there you have it, those are my expectations for the upcoming anime season, and although my expectations might not resonate with you, I still hope you had some fun watching this video. If you want me to do this for every season of anime, let me know down below, because this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I will see you guys